up, y'all? Welcome back to Sentiments to Self,
a much needed conversation.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Mimi, and this is
365 Sentiments.
Sentiments hair.
So that again, it's like every time we launch something, why you always got a different title or you got a different definition of what it is?
It's 365 hair.
It's 365 Sentiments. Where did you get hair from?
It's about hair.
We're launching a project, and the project is called 365 Sentiments. So that's 365 days in a year.
Mm-hmm.
But every time that we do this project, it's going to be a different industry. So yes, this time it's hair, but the next time it won't be hair.
Yada yada. Let's start up.
No, I like that.
Yeah, I liked it too. It was cute.
So what is 365 Sentiments? 365 Sentiments is basically us immersing ourselves into the talents, the skills of 12 different hairstylists, asking them hard questions, like hard industry questions, like why is your pricing like this? Or
literally, like how do you necessarily compensate for your clients' problems? Like, if you're late, like what do they get? Or is it nothing?
Or why don't you wash hair? It's just different things like that we are immersing ourselves into. And it's not really to pick on anyone. It's to actually shed a lot of light on the hair industry, because I can't lie, like hair is a really big part of our lives. Like I think it's a huge deal in the Black community.
And nowadays everything is recorded, everything is content. And I just feel like for the longest, like for years, hair has always had its own spotlight. Hair has always been its own industry, like huge industry in its own. But to necessarily like walk through the steps and like get to know your stylist, get to know like the culture of hair, I don't think it's ever been documented the way that we see this vision for this project being documented.
And of course you've had stuff like Good Hair, where they talk about different textures of hair. Like there has been a lot of research that's done or content that's done for hair, but not like how we
not from our peers, right?
Yes.
Like from all our Instagram social influencers and all the people we love, we want to see more content like this from, so we're going to be the first to necessarily pioneer an idea about that.
So our purpose, I feel like, is, again, like we said, to immerse ourselves into all of these different hairstylists' lives. So we're interviewing, we are actually getting our hair done by these hairstylists, we are having photo shoots, we are creating the content. So the purpose of this, we want to be a part of the team. And so if our purpose is collaboration and unifying women or hairstylists, men, whatever it may be, through conversation, that's what we're doing. So we don't necessarily want to be, the media or like the branding manager, whatever. We want to be a part of the team. So that is why we are doing the content and we are documenting everything that we're doing with these hairstylists, because honestly, why can't hairstylists just focus on the hair? Like, you got to create content now. You got to host
you
classes.
Are not able to be as exclusive as some stylists really prefer to be. Like, some stylists, and it's hard, and I agree. That's why I said we're not here to pick on anybody, because hard work is hard work, and we understand. And I take my hat off to all the stylists out there, because you have a craft that's technically an art. You have clientele that sooner than later become friends or family that you have to keep good relationships with. You have branding that you have to keep a good face for and stay consistent with. So consistency, friends, family, art, your own self, how you look, like where's your exclusivity at anymore?
Or where's your help? Because honestly, I think that's what it is. And then for me with Sentiments, we want to step in with these hairstyles. So after we have immersed ourselves, we've learned you, we've gotten our hair done by you, we've created content, we're a part of the team now. So what is it that could set you apart as a stylist? That may be having a hair blog. That may be on Fridays we come and have, exclusive experiences for your customers. Whatever it may be, we are going to genuinely come to you and create that experience. So that's what we feel like, or that is what 365 Sentiments is.
Right, because we also are not those just one style type chicks, just ponytail type chicks. We have a wrist, we have tried color, we have tried styles, we have tried things that we wouldn't normally try for the fact of this this content right here. And just in our personal opinion also.
I put 2 wigs on in 1 month.
1 month. Really? What was that? 1 week? It was 2 wigs in 1 week?
Over the span of 2 weeks, I put on 2 wigs, and that is not me. I personally don't really do wigs, but
and if we're being good. That's what I said. If we're being 100% honest, we can start this conversation with my own experience with hair, y'all. Like I said, everybody knows hair has always been a country. At least in our culture, hair has always been a big topic.
What you talking about? Our culture
in the Black community?
Okay, let it be known.
Hair has always been a historical part of our culture. Look it up. It's fact. However, y'all best believe, like I also grew up in Alabama, but I went to school in Alabama. So my adult years, even like on my own with no help from mom, paying no bills, getting my hair done, I was in Alabama still. And when I tell y'all, like after graduating, I spent 5 adult years in Alabama still after adolescent years and all that. When I moved to Georgia though, like that's why I say y'all, I have so much respect for the culture of hair and just the point of hair, because I love doing stuff for myself. I love getting my hair done. I love being pampered. However, I thought I was like a baddie, what they call, or just like a it girl with all that stuff. Because I trust and believe, like on campus, asked about me. I was
Okay,
new style
nobody want to ask
doing
about
my
you.
thing. I was cute, a new wig. I was always doing my thing. But here, baby, moving to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, y'all, my sister was getting her hair done every week. She would have a half up, half down, boom, bob next week, then ponytail the next week, then a quick weave. I'm like,
girl, this was
where
in
are
the
you
pandemic
going?
too.
Where are you going? Like, what is this? Like, why is it a thing? Like, and that's just what it was. It wasn't
I was
the fact
hooked.
that
I was addicted.
It wasn't just because of the pandemic. It's not just because of like, are we going out every? No, this is just what it is here, and it's like, not to like single out Atlanta or anything, because there's plenty of places like that, but it just shows the difference in the effort. And again, shout out to all of my Alabama girls, like all the girls that do hair back there. I love y'all. Y'all are doing y'all thing, but the culture here is just a little different as far as getting it done like every week. And I had to get on the train, y'all, because honestly, it feels good. I'm like, I never stopped after that.
So let me say this. So let me ask this as our first question. So the frequency in which you get your hair done as a woman, do you think that it's a real frequency? Like, should a woman be getting her hair done every week, every 2 weeks? Like, what's acceptable?
I'm gonna be 100% on the shot, because y'all know we like to be very transparent over here at Sentiments. When I first moved here, yes, like I jumped on the happy train, get my hair done every week, or at the most every 2 weeks. Because again, hair gonna last you at least a little quick. Ponytail something gonna last you a good 2 weeks, at least for my girl. But and my man, I'm like, hair gonna last a long time, or at least 2 weeks or a week. But yeah, I was doing that faithfully, like consistently, also. But that was also before a lot of my real life kicked in, and like more
responsibilities,
more responsibility came up, and also just the fact of myself. Like I've always been self-sufficient, no matter if it's just by working or creative with hair or anything. I did my hair back in Alabama, so it was good to kind of bask in the luxury of that for a little while. But I always returned to my old ways of myself, and so truthfully, I definitely had to. I went back to some of my old ways to start doing my hair on my own.
Yeah, and I respect you for that honesty of like saying, okay, I dibbled and dabbled. Yeah, I did try getting my hair done every week. I can definitely say, speaking from right now, that was so irresponsible of me. Like, to get my hair done every week, I would be taking down a hairstyle that didn't even need to be taken down.
Still tight in her head.
Yes, just because I wanted to go and I wanted like a different look for these outfits that I had planned for the weekend.
Yep.
It was irresponsible. However, I will say that being here in Atlanta and just, being on the night scene, or, just having something to do or something to wear, it will push you to like, I want a different hairstyle. Like, I may want to wear my natural curls this week, but next week I definitely want a blunt cut vibe, or I want a bang, or
and again, no offense, like again, like that was just my personal experience coming straight from out of college and growing up into like living day to day, handling responsibility myself. However, like, don't get us wrong, like we still go to that shop very faithfully.
We do, but as you can see now, I have braids. Her hand's official, but I'm gonna have these for about a month and a half, 2 months,
which is wild. People keep their braids for long term, and
that's
again,
a long time. 2 months.
I think so for sure. That's why I don't have them. I think a month is too long for me personally. But ultimately, y'all, I just feel like being here in Atlanta, and again, like I said, it's not just a single Atlanta out, because there are other high busy cities that's here in America, but Atlanta is the South. Y'all already know this is the Black Hollywood, the Black Mecca for hair, especially.
Hair.
So if one thing nobody gonna have, it don't matter if your mama doing your hair, it don't matter if your cousin doing your hair, you doing your hair got to be done.
Ladies fly from LA to get their hair done.
Exactly.
So you just gotta understand. I know hairstylists who get Detroit ladies come here to get their hair done. And Detroit, home of the baby hairs and the laid.
That's why I said this is a statement about hair. Like, it's attached to the culture, because again, no matter if you go into the shop, no matter if you have an actual professional stylist in your head that's licensed to do so, you're gonna have your hair done here in Atlanta, and it's gonna be something new. It's every so often.
So let's tap into the history of hair, because I have a problem with how, and don't want to say a problem, but I really just don't agree with, like, in the Black community, like, texture and length is the utmost of importance when it comes to, like, a baby or, like, just in general, like,
And
you
it's
got
wild.
good hair, you got bad hair. Like, what does that mean?
It's crazy that you even started off with, like, a baby, because I feel like as Black women, like, let's just keep it real. Like, I love all of my mom. I love everybody. Like, I love all of us. But let's just keep it real. As a Black woman, from a child, you've always heard at least a few times in your life as a child, you've heard an adult woman speak about hair texture, good hair, bad hair.
What was the comment?
I mean, you don't want to get into all of them, but you're just gonna hear at least something. You're gonna know the difference between what's good and what's bad.
Like, if you see a baby and the first thing you say is, oh,
and that's what I say. We're from Alabama, so you'll hear like her hair's so pretty, or you might hear like, oh, she got so much hair, like.
Which
her hair's
so pretty. The baby don't got a bow in her hair. The baby just got some silky,
fine,
curly,
little
curly,
or slick down.
You know, people say like Hawaiian silky. Like,
silky.
what is that?
And honestly, you know, I'm not gonna blame anybody. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing that we were exposed to that at such young ages, but I just know that this is also what makes hair a part of our culture as Black people, because again, I'm sorry, I may be just wrong, but as a Black woman, I feel that most of us have heard those conversations about good and bad hair since a young child.
But I can't lie, I feel like it instills an insecurity in young girls, because I can even remember growing up, like, I wanted a perm so bad because I wanted straight, long hair.
Wanted a chemical to burn your scalp.
I begged for a
child.
perm. That's crazy to beg for a chemical to be.
But you also have to know, like, and that's what I say, not to just exclude our mothers, even our fathers. Like, my uncle, I remember vividly my uncle telling my mom one day, like, don't be putting their hair in them ponytails, Jam. Like, you know, I don't like they don't be keeping their hair in them puffs. Do their hair.
Yeah,
do their hair. Like, which again, I don't think this is a bad conversation at all. I don't think that this is nothing bad on us or anything. I just know that as a community, we kind of suffer from. I don't want to say suffer, but we kind of do
we want the European looks, and
we neglect our natural features. Yes. We do, and it's like the number one feature we leave in the dust for nothing for 2 cents is hair. Sometimes, like, we would trade that for anything, like a perm, a chemical in your head, some horse tail in the back of your neck, anything. Like, we would trade that for anything.
I mean, I even remember, so, and this is crazy to even have a natural hairstylist. Like, why don't your hairstylists do, like, why can't you go to somebody for just what you go to? But I feel like, too, like, we go to certain people for different things, too. So I was talking to the guy that does my natural hair, and we've always talked about wigs because I don't like wigs. And he's always, like, that was a Broadway thing. Like, but what was supposed to be for Broadway is every day now. Like, that's insane to me. Like, that is insane how, but it's also creative because us as Black people, like, if we want something, we're going to make it happen.
Because also, I think people kind of use just the simple, literal, visible thing about wigs, like, oh, it's straight hair, like European, like white women's hair. But you got to think it's the art too. Like, back in the day,
Samira.
I'm saying, like, we are creative people.
We are.
You know, and not to diss any white women, but, like, sometimes, like, they have to stick to certain styles, even with their hair, and it's long, it's soft, it curls sometimes, but, like, they have to they are restricted to certain styles. But, like, with the wig, we use that texture to necessarily perform all of the different type of styles that we own, even through braids, even through our natural curly textures. Agree. Like, we do make our own lane within those wigs that they even pick up on.
But don't you think it's wild that, like, something that was meant for a Broadway show is, you know, a night that could take the wig off, but we putting glue on our edges and we putting the wig on.
I feel like
this is how we gonna wear it for like 2 weeks, a week straight. Like, that's normal.
True, but if you want to go back to that, you got to go way back. That's why I don't want to talk about the history, because you got to think. High officials, courts, all those people, those royals, like, they would wear wigs. It was just a form of power, because just like in Africa and just like in our community, they say your hair is your crown. Like, that's where it come from. Like, Broadway is definitely a point though, and I feel like that's when it was kind of like getting more like.
But even that statement, your hair is your crown, I feel like a man said that.
Why?
And I feel that way because it's like, what if? I just feel like it forms insecurities, because what if you don't have the hair that you ultimately want as a child? What if your hair...
Why do you want that, though? That's what I'm saying. What is that insecurity?
Because society has put that on us, like, good hair, long, like, even... that's how I feel. And I feel like, because sometimes I did not want I had this conversation with my uncle. I was like, no, I don't feel that way. Like, I don't feel like your hair is your crown. Like, what does that mean? Like, you have to put so much, because you can cut your hair, like.
But what is the point that we keep going back and why we even doing 365? Like, whether you in Atlanta or Alabama, your hair is going to be done.
It's important, yes,
it's
true.
important.
But
so at the end of the day, I don't think that it's like your crown, like this shows your power, this shows your elegance. No, I just feel like this shows I care. I care about my hair.
I just feel like 100% of your confidence shouldn't lie within whether your hair is done or not.
But I disagree because, again, like we can go back to the racial part of it. Like there's been racially ambiguous children or biracial children that come out with not the perfect style or texture hair, or like not maybe the other side's texture of hair. They may get those beautiful features just like we have, just beautiful face, beautiful features, and they still love their hair. So it's like, I totally agree because it's a huge chunk, and I'm gonna bring back to our community of people that don't necessarily appreciate their natural features in hair. But I do feel like as time has went on, we in 2024, it's not really like 2000s anymore when wigs weren't really around and weaves was just kind of hard to come by and you kind of had to make it work with your real hair. It's kind of different now. So I think a lot of women are kind of embracing more of their real hair, and like they do it sometimes, they do other styles sometimes.
I just know, like with you. So for example, and you and my sister, we live together, so I can attest and speak to this. Like your confidence is different. So like when you go and you get maybe a bust down middle part, sew in or wig, jet black, like your confidence is different than when your hair is like this. And I just feel like confidence should be the same with no matter what hairstyle you have. Like you should have the same confidence with your natural hair that you have with a sew-in or a wig, and it's just not that.
I agree, but that's also saying like if I wear Gucci shoes or Gucci heels today, I could wear them tomorrow at work because it give me confidence. No, it's not the same. I feel like with a bust down jet black middle part, damn right on the shit. But ultimately, I don't think bitch, I came here to record today in my real hair. I still feel like a baddie, like because I am. But I just feel like there are certain things.
So would you go to the club like that?
I've been to the club with my real hair. Don't ask me nothing like that. I've been to several bars and clubs with my real hair.
Because you had to.
But now, would I go to the club with my hair freshly washed and just blow dried? Absolutely not. I don't feel like my hair is done.
Let me say this. So you're going to the Future concert. Would you plan for your hair to be like this? Like, would you plan that?
I would wear a half naked outfit to see my man Future. So I don't want to wear my natural hair with a half naked outfit. I'm not, my hair don't touch my shoulders. So that's a part of my look. It's not, because that's what I say. It's a different time. If you would have asked me this back in middle school, I would have probably been real. Like, because I went to integrated middle school with whites, blacks, Asians, everybody. And shoot, I'm going up against, if I want to win homecoming queen, I'm going up against Bailey, Shin, everybody that got long, beautiful hair and just all type of stuff. So you have to contribute more to yourself outside of hair. And I learned that back then. So it's nowadays when everything is kind of like coming full circle now and everybody kind of realizing like, hair ain't so bad. My real hair ain't too bad. I can wear it from time to time. Yeah. It's just a part of my look also. Like, it all depends. And again, if I go see my man Future, now, ma'am, I'm getting... I would wear braids because it's at least to give me a little length.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. I get that, and that's honest, so I accept that. But...
So, I got a question for you, though.
What's up?
Because it's really weird to me that it's like, you like, I hate wigs and all this other stuff.
I wear them because I do think they're sexy sometimes.
That's all I'm saying. So it's just like
you put me on to that. I cannot lie. Before Mimi moved here, I would have never ever imagined
this woman
just wearing wigs. Like that just wasn't me. I hate how sticky they get. I hate the maintenance of them. I don't like the fact that like in 2 or 3 days it's gonna be lifting and like you could see maybe your hairline. Like I don't know how to reapply. So I think maybe when when you're educated on reapplying and making it look good, cool. But for me, it's just not realistic.
And before I moved up here, sometimes you would curl your own hair and do your own real hair sometimes.
Yeah, I think I was
before, instead of doing a wig, you would wear your real hair.
Because what people don't understand is people always like to take this narrative with me that I'm just like this spoiled stay-at-home girlfriend that just spends money. But there was a time where I was doing my own hair, like to save money. So like I was curling. I used to always wear my hair curl, and even my natural hairstylist, like I wear curls. I love his curls. So yeah, there was a time where I did that to save money.
I'm like, not these, y'all.
But I just feel like when, I came into a little bit more money, I started, maybe
you just enjoy the luxury of hair. And switching up the luxury of hair, y'all, because that was a deep conversation. This is when we get into these stylists. Because, I just want to talk about access and convenience and just different lanes when it comes to you walking in a shop and you actually dealing with a stylist, because that's a part of 365 and why we want to be a part of the team. Because I feel like we started earlier about the exclusivity. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, you are. Good job.
Like I'm not saying that properly. But it's, again, I take my hat off to all stylists. Like I say, I think that you do an amazing job. Again, standing on your feet that's hard work. I stand on my feet at work and I don't touch nobody's head, and it's hard enough. So it's just like appeasing someone. You probably, I'm not saying everybody battles with this, but I battle with anxiety and regular stuff. So to deal with those, you providing a service, making sure you make your money that you got to make or your quotas at the end of the month. Like, this is a very hard job that people make look easy almost. And, clients do come in and just expect like the full 9 because they are paying and they here. And I agree to a certain extent, because again, like when I moved here, I'm moving from Alabama where it's like, I might catch me a hair appointment if I need one. Like, if I'm going somewhere, I go get this done and stuff. But here it's like Gen Pop. Like you got to go there. You got to find a hairstylist. You got to go to somebody you can trust to do it right. And I just feel like as far as stylists, I just want everybody to, I don't know. I feel like customers and stylists need to come to a happy medium. And I feel like this is where 365 step in.
And and when you say access to stylists, it just triggered a question in my head, because I just feel like here is a level playing field and it's fair to me. And I'm going to tell you why. It's fair to me here because everybody is a celebrity. Yeah. Everybody has if your style is $500 or $250 for, well, let me be realistic, $175 or $185 for a quick weave. Like, there are women here that can afford that. Like, I'm not going to say everybody works, but everybody can pay for their hair here. In smaller towns, like maybe our hometown, like, if you are a girl there, like, you may be able to get on somebody's books that's normally booked up or something like that. But here,
or it might even just be your home girl to come touch you up, fix you up.
But here it's fair to me. And when I say fair, everybody is a celebrity. So it's like you really can't pick and choose unless it's just an influencer that has this X amount of followers. It's just going to make you just blow up. But at the end of the day, you still have clientele that pay what she probably paid. And so to me, that's just like, that's the beauty of hair here to me. Like, you can get $500, not just from your celebrities, but from a regular everyday girl too.
So do you think fairness goes all the way to how they treat their clients, regardless if anybody can
oh no, that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
Different.
Like, the fairness, like, cool, I can
get in the chair.
I can get a deposit paid. That ain't much. But when I get there,
how you're treated,
how I'm treated when I walk through the door. Is it gonna be like Magic City Strip Club when I get there, or is it gonna be like smooth sailing?
That's
like
the difference.
Zen.
So they'll go to Jada to do her hair, but maybe we have to go to the shop, or they'll do extended hours for Jada, maybe, but maybe they only work within certain hours for their regular clients. So yes, that's true. However, you got to think about the business of that. When you post Jada or Jada posts your hairstyle, you're gonna get other clientele. That's just what it is.
And I feel like, but that's only a leg of your job. Like, I feel like that's cool, but it's a leg of your job, because me as a regular woman walking the streets of Atlanta, like interacting with the regular people of Atlanta can also bring you a great deal of clientele to me, just because of your work. Like, people are going to ask me about your work. Not that they know me, not because they care about me, but because they like what they see. And again, women fall in love with what they say women fall in love with what they hear, men fall in love with what they see. But if, again, women paying attention to see that men like me because of my hair, they're going to follow in line and go get, oh, girl, where you get your hair done?
Yeah, that's true.
Where you been at, girl? Who did this? Yeah, girl. So I just feel like once you walk through the door of a shop in Atlanta, you do have to kind of like brace yourself a little differently if you haven't been here, if you haven't like been involved in the culture of hair here in Atlanta. Because, again, there are several stylists that are great. Like, you're going to have a complimentary treatment, luxury, like you're going to be treated well. I know a few. That's all of my team. They're great. But you also necessarily do have to kind of like bend in some ways. And I know like the extremely popular question right now, like, do I got to get my hair washed before I come? And me, I'm just, again, y'all should know I'm a girls. I'm on the side of I should not have to wash my hair before I get there. However, I have done it damn near every time before certain stylists. So I'm not just going to complain like I wouldn't do it, but I am on the side of, I do believe that's not a luxury. I feel like that's a part of me getting my hair done. It should get washed at the shop.
However, I do, and I want to say this because, yes, there are hairstylists that ask you, like, is your hair washed or do you need your hair washed? And you got to understand, too, so, like, when we go to these certain shops or we pick these certain stylists, like, we know how they function, we know how they work, we know like we want to get in and out, like we know certain things. So sometimes the customers choose to wash their own hair so they can get in and out of your shop. Now, is that a reflection of, you know, maybe your timing is off? Yeah. However, sometimes customers are making that. They're making that decision. I've seen it. Like, girl, I wash my own hair. I got to get in and out today. Like,
but you gotta know, like you said, we kind of already know these people, so you got to go through that trial and error of learning. That's why I said, if you new here to the community, you do got to like go in with a open heart. You got to be brave, ladies. Like, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't gonna be the same. So we did have to learn a few things, and it's just like once you like what you get from a person, at least you kind of will be into. And I just feel like everything is a compromise from the stylist seat. I mean, from the client seat to the client. I mean, to the stylist herself. I do feel like there should be some kind of compromise, but time, you guys. Now, washing my hair is one thing. When we talk about time, I think that's a different discussion.
Yeah, I definitely like with timing. That's a touchy topic for me with hairstylists because it's like you don't want to rush nobody because you want to look good. But however, like everybody's time is valuable. Like that's something that we don't get back. So I think that's just gonna lead me because we could table that for now. I think that's gonna lead me into like lifestyle, and pricing. Do you feel like pricing is fair, or do you feel like it's all about that hairstylist trying to keep up with the lifestyle that they want for themselves, and that's how they're pricing? Or like are they pricing off of the skill and the technique and what they're actually doing, or is it shoot, I need to make $250 off of her because if I do 4 heads today, this pays my rent?
Let me
like,
say
how
this:
does that...
I respect everybody hustle. I'm not knocking you if you sell your body. I'm not knocking you if you sell drugs. Everybody has a hustle, so. At the end of the day, it's respected coming from me. Not from every woman, but for me, at the end of the day, it's still respected. However, if I have to be 100% real, it definitely all contributes to your lifestyle, if I'm being 100% honest, simply because even from the people that some people that I have went and got my hair done from, like, I don't see you promoting, like, your craft every day. I don't see, some people don't. You don't have to always post. Everything is not posted. I totally understand it too. But some people I've had personal relationships with, and I probably haven't gotten my hair done from them. These are just people I know, and it's just like to charge prices that may be a little steep or just considered possibly unfair. I do feel like it should come with the love you have for that craft. Like some people are doing it because they're good at it. Some people doing it because they can do it, and they just throw a price on there to be competitive with other people or just to get their money for their lifestyle or whatever. So I do feel like ultimately it is about the lifestyle, just because, like I said, I don't think that you're necessarily promoting classes. Like, this is another thing. I feel like this is number one. If your quick weave is, say, $15 from $200, like at $185.
Be real with me. Be real about some stuff we've actually experienced. Like we used to pay
$185. If your quick weave is $185, I feel like you should definitely consider the fact that this girl still got to go buy hair. So all I'm saying is, if your quick weave is $185, be the compromise between her and that hair store. Like, I'm the hairstylist. I go to the hair store. Don't worry about the hair. Like, you give me an extra $30 on top of this. This is your 2 bundles that you would have paid $60 for at the shop or at the beauty salon. And your quick weave is still $185 plus $30 for hair. I wouldn't even complain about that.
I disagree. And I know you disagree too. And I think you're just trying to be fair, because my thing is, when you go to buy a purse or Louis Vuitton, like, they're not thinking that you had to pay your bills too and then you coming to buy a purse. They're not going to lower their price because of that. And I feel like we cannot tell a stylist how they should charge. You got to do your research, and you got to find another stylist within your budget.
But that's why I said I respect the hustle, because a purse and my hair, we already established you got to have your hair done. You don't got to have that Louis bag.
But like, you can't tell a hairstylist your quick weaves, what's fair is for me to pay $125.
I respect
somebody
$125. I totally respect the hustle. I'm not gonna tell nobody what to do for their price, because God knows if I need the money, I'm gonna hike it up $200 today. If what's keep the lights on in my shop, it is what it is. You gonna pay. All I'm saying is, if we're going to be consciously real, I respect it. But if I have to be 100% honest, I don't feel like every stylist that's overcharging for their prices necessarily care for their craft for that same price. I don't. And I don't feel like that always makes it worth it, because then that reflects on the client to see, like, damn, I had to wash my hair before I got here. Damn, it's hot in here. Damn, she got 3 girls ahead of me. Dang, she was eating her lunch before she got here.
But you still wait.
But that's what I'm saying. That's when you start thinking of pricing and stuff, because it's like, it's the convenience now.
But you go back and you go back and you go back.
But girls, you know, girls that have gotten cheaper hairstylists, or cheaper hairstyles, they will say, I mean, shit, I'll wait around. Shit, I'll wait 6 hours if my hair $50.
What?
All I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, but I wouldn't complain about the price, but I definitely think some people are overcharging for lifestyle.
I will just never say that people are overcharging for lifestyle, because I just feel like when you're an entrepreneur, like the economy changes, a lot of things go into play when it comes to that price.
Right.
And I just feel like you just got, if you truly cannot afford that hairstylist, there's somebody else that's doing it for cheaper or a little cheaper. Because, I mean, I know people that's not charging $450 to put on a wig. And I know people that's charging, what, $130 is what we just paid?
The only reason I say I'm sticking to my guns is because even in a different industry, I've gotten my makeup done, and y'all won't know because I ain't never posted it. I done got my makeup done for a price that I thought was extremely too steep for an ugly face.
It was for birthday weekends.
No, that's not, shut up. I'm not even saying nothing, but I'm just saying, like, I paid that because I respect the artist, and I'm going to trust you to do your job. But you don't care about your job. You care about the money, which is why I hated my makeup and my face. So it's
whoa. You saying that, but why you feel like that people hate? Why you feel like that? How you feel like you can read somebody's mind to say that? That she charged what she charged, but she don't love what she do?
I'm going to say it because I hated my face. Like, I can say that as your client.
You saying
I paid you. And I hated my face. I don't think you really practiced your craft because it was ugly as fuck. And I wouldn't just say ugly for anything. I think it was just white, I'm black, like obvious wrongs.
And you do makeup, so I can respect that.
It's the products. Before I was even doing makeup, I noticed that your products were shitty. And you charging me this much. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Okay, because I'm like, does somebody else use like Chanel primer on this?
But they don't. This person didn't. That's why I said I wouldn't speak on nobody that is actually, I can tell their love for their craft.
This ain't supposed to be messy either, y'all.
That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. Whole other industry in makeup. So when it comes to hair, I just feel like your clients can see through your shortcomings when you necessarily are kind of like steeper. And I don't think you should change it for nobody, because you're going to always have somebody feel that seat or feel that void.
But it's going to be that one customer that's going to call you out if you keep doing that.
Or that's just going to walk. And she's probably going to take 3 other walkers with her.
Because a lot of people aren't, just pushovers and like, well, I got to get my hair done, so I'll just deal with this again.
Yeah, and it could be that one person that could get you a lot of clientele that didn't like your craft simply because they took a risk on you and you said, fuck them. Or you just said whatever.
And I mean, and that's going to lead me into my last point when it comes to this, like, customer service.
Oh.
Because I've seen customer service at its best, and I've seen customer service at its worst. And honestly, it's like, I've seen it at its best with a lot of clientele, and I've seen it at its worst with a lot of clientele too. And it's crazy to me, and that's why I say hair is really a hot topic, because how does somebody with poor customer service still have a lot of clientele? And is it the skill? Like, is it because it's the only person that can give what I'm offering? And that's no, because it's a lot of people out there do the same thing. So what is it?
I feel like hair goes so deep in conversation because, again, like I always had a conversation about women learning from women trusting women loving other women. Like, that's just a deep topic in itself. And like we mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, hair is an insecurity for a lot of people, or it's like it's a subconscious thing that we think about as black women, white women, like a lot of people. So to have a person in your head that you necessarily don't get a good vibe from automatically just kind of like makes you feel like defend yourself, like shelter in, hone in, like don't say nothing, just be cool, get in and get out, like you at your principal office. My thing is, everybody know the shop is the club. Like, I don't care what nobody say. The shop is the club. If you find you a good home shop, or you got you a good girl that welcomes you, and again, stylist, I understand, like, every day ain't gonna be a party. Every day ain't fun.
I get that.
You'd have been working all day. Like, I don't expect you yourself to necessarily,
but I get something every time I go.
But I want, even if I bring it, like, let me bring the vibes, and I'm just gonna uplift you, but just be open to it. Like, you can't be so closed off, and you are the service provider.
I can't lie, that's true.
Customer service.
Because it's like when I go to Kennedy, I know that Kennedy is like my big sister. So like she gonna fill me up. She gonna pour into me. Like when I go to Erin, I know we gonna talk about what's going on, on social media and politics. Like
music,
we gonna have a wholesome conversation. Yeah, when I go to Gary, like I'm gonna have me some laughs. Like he about to be funny.
R&B music.
Yes,
like we doing Kayla with some braids. We gonna probably
talk about everything. Like we dancing at the end of the appointment. Kayla's like at the Prissy Palace. So it's just different vibes that you get, and I respect and I love all of that. So honestly, I just feel like
if you get bad customer service from anybody, I don't think it should be because like, oh, I got an insecurity in my hair. No, just make it the point of just comfort. Like, I want to feel great when I leave here, not just because of how I look, but because of how I feel. Like when we were just at the Princess Palace the other day, I didn't get my hair touched at all while I was waiting on Sam to get done with her braids. But every girl that walked out that shot, I let them know, y'all look good, girl.
Yeah.
Y'all hair looks amazing. And it's just like, that didn't even come from the stylist. I mean, the stylist definitely told her too, but I mean, she was doing her hair. That comes from the other women in the shop.
Yeah.
And, you know, you want to have, you as a stylist, you want to have people around that's, and including you can't control nobody, but you just want to embrace or open a welcoming spirit to people that are fun, the way if you're not having a good day, somebody gonna see you, they already know you, like, girl, I got you, like, we gonna have a good time.
Yeah, and I just also feel like when you step into new zone and new territory, so like you want to try a new hairstyle, so you're gonna try this new hairstylist, don't go into that situation expecting the same thing. And I'm not saying that you should expect bad customer service or you shouldn't be expecting good customer service, but I think that you should give that woman a chance. And you just gotta, like, people have bad days. People have bad salon days. Like, just give it a chance. And I just think, like, going straight to social media after having one experience with one person, like, I don't agree with that.
Because I was going to say, it's not always stylists. Sometimes those bad habits from stylists come from bad customers.
Yeah,
like, sometimes customers, like, because we think we paying, we feel like we can tell you what don't look right or why is it like this already. Necessarily,
so that's even more of a reason. Like, if a customer does something and it gives you a bad or rubs you wrong, like, why would you go to social media and that was, one, your first time, and two, like, you didn't even give this woman a chance before you knocking the way that she eat. Like, I don't agree with that.
Or you saw her work, trust that work. Trust that outcome. Don't be asking through the process. Don't be worried through the process, I say. Don't be worried. Like, you can't put your worry on the stylist because then you're going to make her uncomfortable. You're going to make her think, okay, the next person I got to explain myself before she sit down. I got to reassure her 10 times before she leave. Like, if you need anything, damn it, your hair be free. Like, you can come back if you need me to fix anything. Like, it's not that. Like, it's a luxury for you to come in and get your hair done. You don't have to touch your hair. You're not going to lay a finger in here. And it's actually a compliment from the stylist to know you trust me to do my job and it's going to look good.
And I feel like that's what 365 Sentiments is with the hair industry. Like, we want to be that buffer. Like, we want to show women how to communicate with hairstylists effectively.
And stylists.
Yeah, because my thing is, I just feel like sometimes how we feel, like, after our hair is done, like, it's be mixed emotions. Like, sometimes you can lead a shop.
You need somebody else to tell you you look good.
Yes. And that's what we want to be. So 365 is about collaborating with hairstylists, in the hair industry. I don't care if you style hair. I don't care if you sell hair products. Like, we believe and we feel like that the way to unify all of this with your clientele, with the hairstyles, everything is through communication, like good conversation and experiences.
A much needed conversation. Holla at your girls.
So Mimi, your sentiment for others when it comes to hair.
Why I gotta go first?
How do you feel, or what does hair mean to you? It's easy. What does hair mean?
Okay, no tracks.
Grease.
Okay. So what does hair mean to me? Because I done said a lot in this interview. I mean, I gotta make sure I'm going what I said.
Like, don't contradict yourself. Just don't do that.
But seriously though, y'all, like, hair to me it's just a part of my statement. It's a part of my presence. Like, when I always say, y'all can go back to our old conversations. When I walk in a room, my presence is felt without me having to speak. Like, my spirit is felt without me having to speak. Like, because that's just how happy and joyful I am. But as far as hair, it's a part of my presence. It's a part of my physical statement because it's not me. I do agree that it is a part of your crown, but a crown don't make me necessarily. I make me. So ultimately, I feel like it's just a part of my physical statement. And what that means is just when I think about me from a child, how my mama kept me up, from how I keep myself up to an adult, that is always involved hair. It always has started at the top with my hair. So I just feel like I'm gonna continue that stride because I feel like that has conditioned. It's just a part of me that's just been conditioned to always keep up, and I'm proud of that. So it's like hair to me is something to be proud of, and it's a part of my physical statement that'll never be slipping.
Okay.
It was just slipping for a whole week, y'all. My hair was in a ball back here. Go ahead. What is your last?
I just feel like my sentiment when it comes to hair is that hair is an extension of you. Just like when you go to the gym, like you being a fitness girl, like that's an extension of me. It's not me. So all of your extensions come together to kind of make you who you are. But if one is lacking, that don't mean that you less than yourself. So I feel like if, okay, my braids start getting old, you know, my top need to be redone. Like, my confidence don't change just because my hair is not how it was, you know, when I liked it best. Like, I'm still Sam. I can still give you all of me. Like, my energy ain't going to be different. But I also just want y'all to know, too, like, it does build confidence. And I keep saying that it shouldn't be all of your confidence, but when you look good, you feel good.
And shout out to all the men that get their hair done, but we women, like we all know, like just like the men know that they're going to be nurtured from us women, our hair know that we're going to nurture our hair because we are women and we take care of a part of ourselves, which is hair.
So yeah, so we're here to bridge, like we're the buffer, like we are bridging hairstylists, clients, this whole notion, the negative notions around here, like
the questions, the concerns, the
talk about
it. Regardless if some stylists want to get out of the chair, like we are the bridge of a much needed conversation between clients and stylists.
And we unifying all of it. So that's it for today. And we just hope and pray that y'all love 365 Cities.
I know that's right. Our first issue is coming very, very soon. Do you want to announce who it is?
This May, we going to have Exo Tyranny.
La Tyranny.
The Pink Print. T-Styles.
T-Styles. She is the woman of many names.
Our first hairstylist. She's the youngest hairstylist that we're going to talk with. This is the lady that has put 2 wigs on my head. So I'm excited for y'all to see this
woman put a blonde wig and an updo that wasn't a 360 frontal up in my head and did a good job.
So yeah, we got that content coming.
Very soon, y'all. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all so much. My sweating sound. I'm nervous.